Good morning, everyone. So we are going to be working on this. I was just going to add a line for the notes. Okay, so we're working on 8.2, which is on floor plans. So our essential question is, how do I decide on how much space I need and want? Okay, so something when you're looking for apartment, you'll see they'll actually have like scale drawings, right? So the scale, so plans are drawn to scale. Okay, so they'll have like floor plans that you look at for your apartments. Always look also everybody where the apartment is. Okay, and then the actual. So it's going to be scale over the actual dimensions, the actual lengths. So if we have 1/4 inch is equal to 1 foot. Okay, so the model, so 1/4 is a decimal, so 1/4 inch is equal to 1 foot. Okay. So this is the blueprint. Okay, and so let's say everybody that the length of the wall is 17 feet. Okay, so that's the proportion. So we're going to use a proportion. Okay, so it's going to be a model in inches over the model in feet is equal to the actual inches over the actual feet. Okay, so we're going to have 1/4 over 1 foot is equal to x over 17. Okay, so inches over feet is equal to inches over feet, and then we're going to cross multiply. So 1 times x, 1/4 times 17, so we're multiplying. So we're going to get, so it's going to be x is equal to 25 hundredths times 17. So it's 4 1/4, okay, for the length of the wall, okay? So we want to know what's the length on the floor plan. Okay, so this one, everybody. So if we're using this and we want to find the area, okay, so we want to find the area of the room minus the piano, okay? So we're going to take the piano out. Sorry, I feel like it's okay. Just going to have to add that image on real quick, everybody. Okay, so minus the piano. Okay, so we have to do where we're finding the area. Okay, so it's going to be the area because we have that little piano there. Okay, so if we're looking at this, everybody, so we have this diagram. So it says right here that it's 25 by 16 feet. Okay, so that means it's going to be 16 is the width. And then we have that 25 is going to be the length. So this length right here is 25. Sorry, it's bugging me. That's right there. It's 25. Okay. So we're going to use, so it's going to be the area is going to be equal to 25 times 16. Okay. This length right here, the radius is 8 feet. Okay, so that's 8. So we are going to use everybody. So this is a quarter circle. So everybody, if you think about it, this is 1/4 of a circle. So this is what we're finding is 1/4. So we're going to use area is equal to, it's going to be pi times the radius squared divided by 4. Okay. We're going to use 3 1400ths for pi. Okay. So we're going to do that. So minus, and we're going to use 3 1400ths times 8 squared divided by 4. Okay. So it's going to be, area is going to be equal to 400 minus 50. So we get 350 feet squared. So 350 feet squared of carpet is needed. Okay. We can also have everybody where we have, I'm going to see if I can insert a shape. They don't have it on there, so it's okay. I'll draw it. Okay, we got it. Okay, so let's say that we have everybody an octagon. So octagon, like an octopus has 8 tentacles. An octagon has 8 sides. Okay, so we're gonna do, so it's gonna be, so apothem is from the center of one of the sides. Okay. Okay, so that's called the apothem. So we use A, and we have on this for all the sides. So it's a regular polygon, meaning that octagon, meaning all the sides are congruent, all the angles. So we have that the side length is 10 feet, and the apothem is 12 feet. Okay. So let's say everybody, we have a gazebo, in the backyard, and we want to put in, okay. So I'm just writing what regular polygon is. So all sides are congruent. So that means that they have the same measure. So there's the same length. So all sides and all angles are congruent. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this. So we're going to have, so the formula that we use for this to find the area, because we want to put in tile. Okay, so it's going to be A times P, Okay, P, everybody is a perimeter. So we're going to do A is equal to 1/2 times 12 times, okay, side length is 8, so it's number of sides times the side length. So number of sides times the side length. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that one in. So we're going to have, so we get it's 480. And then, so if we want to know the cost is going to equal 480 times 14, because it's $14 per square foot. So 6,720. That's going to be a really good tile. Okay, so in our gazebo. Okay, so something else we have. So we're going to also talk about air conditioning units. Okay, so our cooling and heating units, something we definitely need here. I'm just putting my line for my notes so we can do it. Okay, so we're still doing 8.2 and we're continuing it. Okay, so it's called British. So for air conditioning units, they use it's called British thermal units. Okay, so BTUs. So air conditioning units need to be the right size to cool a room. You don't want them too big and you don't want them too small because otherwise it won't cool a room or heat the room. Okay, so the formula that we use for this, everybody, is UI, so while over 60. 60 is just part of the formula for this. W stands for the width. H stands for height. I stands for the insulation. L is the length. And E is the exposure. Okay, so if we're looking at this, everybody, so if it's well insulated, I is equal to 10. If it's poorly insulated, then I is equal to 18. Okay, if we're facing and it also is affected by the direction that it's facing. If it's facing north, it's 16. If it's facing east, E is 17. If it's facing south, exposure is 18. And if it's facing west, exposure is 20. Okay, so think about just like where the sun is in the sky, so it's going to have more exposure. Okay, So we have, BTUs. So we have while over 60. So let's do an example, everybody. So we have 16 times 8 times 18 times 14 times 18. Remember, everybody, to do parentheses, and then we divide it by 60. Okay. So we multiply that all together, and then we're going to divide by 60. Okay. Everybody, when we're doing this, we round it up to the nearest, thousands. So we round it to the thousands. Okay, so it would be 10,000 British thermal units is what we would require. Okay, so round up to the thousands place. Because when you go to buy this, they'll look at you if you're like, I need 9,676.8. They'll be like, oh, 10,000. Okay. So our question for this, what BTUs for a room, okay, poorly insulated, and facing south. Okay, we can also use, everybody, oh, it keeps jumping back up. Okay, so we can also use, everybody, so if we need length, okay, so let's say, everybody, we want to put in, okay, so we have, our deck that we're using, okay, and we want to put in, everybody, so we have, it's going to be 12 by 16, okay, so this is the base, and we want to know the deck's diagonal, okay, the length of the deck's diagonal, and to make sure that we're constructing our deck correctly. Be a nice rectangle. So we're going to use 12. Okay, that's going to be A. And 12 squared, so we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem, 16 squared is equal to C squared. 12 squared is 146. 16 squared is 256. We're going to add those together to get 400. Okay. And now, everybody, we take the square root. Got to get to the root of the problem. And we get that it's 20. Okay. So it's going to be 20 feet. So that's the length of the deck's diagonal. Okay, and when we're doing this, everybody, we round to the hundredths. So round it to the hundredths place.